all, I just want to thank you very much for coming out. I know it's a big deal to come out on 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. Lots of things are going on. Your presence actually matters, so welcome. Thank you. I'm very humbled. I'm honored. Very excited, actually, to have you with me here today. This is actually a we campaign. It's not a me campaign. We can accomplish nothing alone, but a lot in solidarity across our community with a common purpose, a common vision. So it means a lot to me to see people from all walks of life stand with me as I announce that I am running to represent all the people of District 6 on the Tompkins County Legislature starting in 2018. Yay! If I had to summarize in one three-letter word why I'm running, it's Y-O-U, you, Lansing residents. There's approximately 7,000 residents in the district, stretching from Burdick Hill Road up to the Cuyahoga County border, from the lake edge over to Schofield Road, and I'm going to work hard, diligently over the next 6 months to connect with as many as possible, to listen, to learn, to share my experience, my legacy of integrity, and the results that I have already brought to Lansing residents to face the challenging times ahead. Every resident has a story, young, old, people who have means, people of moderate means, people living at the margins, barely surviving. We have here today engineers, teachers, parents, nurses, artists. I want to represent your story. I want to represent your voice. Another way to explain why I'm running is the 3 R words: represent, respect, and results. Seeking to be a representative can be viewed kind of like a job application. 7,000 interviewers over the next 6 months. My daughter asked me, why in the world am I putting myself through this? Started before, 9 months of shoe leathering, talking with neighbors about their concerns, their issues. By the way, she's a doctor. She's had 7 years of a discipline before she's going to start her practice in Vermont in June. But she said, when I asked her, you know, you've got 7 years, why, Mike, are you doing this? She said, I know the outcome. You're doing all this and you have no idea about the outcome. And she's right. But I choose to represent neighbors because I'm passionate about hearing why each person has found Lansing to be home. And I have a survey over there. People have already begun to pass in their surveys, but if you want to fill out a survey about what's important to you about Lansing, what are your concerns, please do so and put it in the container. I want to earn every vote I can in November. I run also because I have a track record of showing respect for every single person whom I interact with, whether in my personal life or in my public life. I've lived in Tompkins County for 50 years. All those relationships matter, regardless of the person's background. I delivered newspapers for the Ithaca Journal at age 11, going door to door. I got a peek into the lives of neighbors who I would collect the weekly subscription from. I worked at local retail. I worked far away at a Native community up in Canada. I've traveled overseas. I've lived in other cultures. I have built relationships all across Tompkins County and Lansing residents through my work, my family, my Lansing church, school, social, volunteer commitments. My first job out of grad school, I have a planning degree, was as a social services caseworker right here in Tompkins County. My wife will tell you that every day I came home, I was exclaiming, I can't believe they pay me to help people. Helping is part of my DNA. I run also for this office because I have delivered results already for Lansing residents, and I will deliver results in an ongoing way if elected. People who have worked with me know that I walk the walk. I don't just talk the talk. When I was county budget chair, that's 2004 to 2007, I transformed the budget process completely, with help, of course. All these things that I say, quote, I have done, it's we, it's a whole group. It takes a lot of tenacity to move change in our community. But I saved annual taxes for you. I decreased the annual tax levy literally from double digits to 0, and then at inflation levels since then. I have started organizations that continue in Tompkins County to this day, from a homeless youth outreach program, that's in 2002, to the Get Your Green Back energy saving program that reached 42,000 households across Tompkins County. Literally, I delivered bags to Lansing households with energy saving measures. Visit my website, pick up some literature, has much more about my background. These are just some highlights. Today, is May Day. I chose this day to announce my candidacy for a very particular reason. I chose this spot for a particular reason. And believe me, there was politics about where we could stand in this parking lot. May Day is a maypole, right? It's a symbol of spring, of hope, of youth dancing carefree around the maypole, celebrating spring. May Day is also a distress signal. May Day! We face significant challenges here in Tompkins County. We need strong representation to meet those challenges. A uniting vision to bring diverse perspectives together. Seniors, youth, those at the economic margins, those who have financial stability, farmers, teachers, social workers, manufacturing employees just up the street. Lansing can be seen as an economic engine for Tompkins County. And again, I've got more handouts about the issues. I have more handouts about what indeed Lansing assets are that we can actually build on. But the main reason I chose this day is because it's International Workers' Rights Day. I've worked for 30 plus years here in Tompkins County, sometimes 2 and 3 jobs at a time. I celebrate every single working person across Lansing. I presently work for BOCES full-time, and I do census work at nights and weekends, going into people's homes again, seeing a picture of their lives. So I understand that every person has a story. I stand with each person. I seek to understand their commitments, their joys, their passions, their challenges, their heartbreaks. And today we also join with Beyond the Moment. It's a national movement. We stand with Black Lives Matter. We stand with people across New York who are calling Make the Road New York. These are things that are happening today to raise our voices, to change New York, to change our community. Represent, respect, results. This is why I run. To represent each and every resident of Lansing with all my heart, with all my mind, with all my spirit. I am uniquely qualified to represent you. My experience, my integrity, my creativity, they add value. From being a paper boy to being a Boy Scout, I went to camp right across the lake. I negotiated union contracts for Tompkins County as an employee. I would go in on holidays to use the computer to do spreadsheets. And I also negotiated contracts as management. I was on the legislature. I negotiated the sheriff's contract and the CSCA employees union contract. I've seen both sides. I represent you. I look forward to learning more each day about your lives, what matters to you, not just one sector of Lansing. Finally, I want to share one more aspect of why I'm running. Carrie and I have friends who live just off Peruville Road who learned that he has the early stages of ALS. He may have 5 to 7 years to live. We shared dinner with them in December, part of our Caring Bridge network, and afterwards I asked Carrie, if you had 5 years to live, how would you spend your life differently, if at all? She answered and she asked me, and much to my surprise, out of my mouth popped, I would run for county legislature. I thought I was done with elected office. I thought I had put it behind me. If I knew I had 5 years to live, I would want to spend the last 4 years serving the community. But given what our community is facing, given what's happening across the country, it may actually discourage people from running. I stand with the people of Lansing to represent you. We can't control what life hands us. We can control our response. Let's be that person that we want our community to be. Take a stand, show up. Each person can and must do what they can with the time they've been given. Lansing needs each of us uniquely. I have the skills for uniting differences across Lansing. I have the energy, I have the passion, the boldness, creativity to uniquely serve you. Public service is in my blood. I ask for your vote on November 7th. I ask for your friends' votes and anybody else you know in Tompkins County who would influence people in Lansing. Just so you know, 2 election cycles ago for this particular seat, that District 6, Pat Pryor won by 6 votes. That's over about 2,000 votes. Mike Sigler ran a hard campaign 1 cycle ago. He won by 37 votes. Every single vote counts, right down to the last absentee ballot. So I'm going to ask for your response. Will you work with me for a better Lansing?
Yes!
Will you walk alongside me in this campaign for a future Lansing we can all be proud of?
Yes!
Will you celebrate all that we love about Lansing? I love Lansing.
Yes!
Will you share why you're proud to live here?
Yes!
And are we all going to vote on November 7th?
Yes!
Lansing is 200 years old, has so much to celebrate. Help me create a future that we can celebrate for decades to come. Thank you. The outcome depends on you.
Thank you.